Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. Someone had recently asked me what I do when I am allowing my manifestations to crystallize within my life, that I've got it already right now, and I'm experiencing that right now until it happens in my physical life. What are some of the things that I do to try to help with that process, with just the general day-to-day living? And there are basically 7 things that I do in my life that I think tries to help make me a happier person. And I believe when we get ourselves to that sort of happier energy, a little more expanded energy, you start to notice things happening in your life that you'd never seen before. Magical things seem to happen, stuff that just shows up out of nowhere. People will open a door and be like, hey, you're so-and-so, here's a bunch of money. Like, just the craziest things will start to happen when you're able to expand your consciousness and keep yourself in a generally better mood. One of the key things that I think makes the biggest difference in life, in helping with the mood, if you will, being afraid of making mistakes. A lot of people are afraid to make a mistake. Now, there's one problem that tends to show itself, and that's when we've got some sort of problem or issue or dilemma or something we're working on, and we bring in all this information and we study it and we think about it and we spend all this time with it, and then we're afraid to do anything. It's called paralysis by analysis. There's so much information. There's so many possibilities. I don't have everything mapped out and figured out. How am I ever going to do this? Relax about it. Don't be afraid to make a mistake here and there. Don't be afraid to only have 80% and then know that I'm going to learn the other 20% along the way. Don't be afraid. Sometimes we stop ourselves before we ever even get a chance to succeed. And you've got to take a step forward before you can ever succeed. Yeah, you might fall, but yes, you might succeed. And the other side of this too is a lot of people are so afraid to make a mistake that they literally just won't do anything because they don't want to be wrong. They don't want to make a mistake. They don't want to maybe be embarrassed. They don't want to possibly have their feelings hurt. You know what? You're going to walk through some mistakes. You're going to learn some valuable lessons. They are awesome when they happen, and then you should almost even look forward to the days when you have them. So long as you're not doing the same mistake over and over, you should be happy when you have them. They are a growth potential. They are like a little steroid for those of you that maybe know the game Pac-Man, right? Those are the little power pellets that'll just enhance your day, and you go chomping ghosts right after that. It's a fantastic thing. So it makes a huge difference to just let go of this fear of making mistakes. Mistakes are okay. Don't worry about it. Make steps forward. Make steps in progress, and you will be stoked if you just keep doing that. Second, regrets. Regrets are something that I do not see a purpose to, and I do not believe there is any such thing. Regrets are something that we create in our mind because something did not happen in the past. One of the main concerns I have about this, you can revise and all that stuff. I'm not trying to talk to that at all, but what I'm saying is from my standpoint, from the way I operate, rather than spending any time looking backwards at where I've been, I'd rather look forward at where I'm going now with the knowledge that I gained from behind me, the thing that I'm regretting, or the fact that I didn't have time to do something, but I focused on something else, then there must be a reason for that. Or there's other people that can do that. I don't need to do everything. Whatever your regrets are, what I find that they tend to do to us is they tend to be anchors in our ability to try to get in the flow, try to get in the flow of life and move forward and raise our consciousness. What these regrets do is they tend to be anchors to the past. Looking back on the past is just a direction that you're not going. Looking to where you're going and to what you're doing is. The past already happened. Whatever it is happened. Learn from it, move forward, and realize that you're creating your tomorrow right now. You're not creating your tomorrow a year ago. That's not where your tomorrow's at. Your tomorrow's from right now. So forgive, let go, get rid of regrets. Regrets don't serve a purpose other than anchoring you to your past and not allowing you to truly soar. The third thing, always learn from the past. There are all sorts of gems and golden nuggets for us in the past, of things that we've done, areas that maybe we've made mistakes, but ultimately, these are the things that we need to look at and take from it the parts that are worth keeping, the parts of it that are worth still holding on to, the lessons, the wisdom. Take that with you and then look forward and make decisions going forward. One example of something that a lot of us have a hard time with is relationships and ex, right? If you have ever been in a breakup at all, You go through this situation where your heart hurts, you want to be with them no matter what, you're depressed. It's a very tough time to go through for anybody that has. When you get a little ways past it, you're able to start looking back on the relationship and looking at the places where maybe you were right, maybe you were wrong. You get to look at places where you'd done things wrong, where you'd caused problems, where you were causing friction. They call it hindsight is 20/20 because as you get further away from it and look back on it, you realize all the things that you weren't necessarily doing properly. You weren't necessarily bringing your A game to the plate. And so because of that, the relationship started to falter. Or because you kept thinking about a third party, one showed itself into the picture. You realize these are the mistakes I made. So moving forward, we realize, okay, one, I gotta open up to the fact that this might happen again. But here's the thing, you're wiser now. You learned something from the past now, didn't you? You're not gonna make that same mistake. If by chance you're still on that same level of consciousness that attracts what you attracted in the past, which is possible, you're gonna recognize the behavior immediately. So if by chance you find yourself getting into another cycle and you're seeing it again, be smart, stop it before you get too heavily into it. You'll see the signs and realize, okay, I've got something going on inside of me that's bringing this about. What is it? So let's learn from these experiences. Let's look at the past and learn from it. Now, conversely, can also work for the positive. Now, one of the examples I want to use is like YouTube's, creating YouTube videos for people. In the past, maybe you created one of those videos that just spiked, just went awesome, had one of those videos, right, that just did amazing. And then your normal videos don't do nearly like that one video did. Instead of trying to live in the past and be in that video and look at what you did on that video. Look at what worked. What were the things that seemed to kind of work? And then try to evolve those things into your newer videos. So it's a way of trying to take what I did right and incorporate it into my forward progress. So again, if you're looking at the past, learning the lesson, realizing it happened for a reason, and pushing forward with the newfound knowledge, you will truly find yourself in a higher state of consciousness, two, a better feeling about things, and generally just tends to make doors open up for you. The fourth one is to make tomorrow a better day. Always understand that tomorrow is evolving from today and that it is your option to make it better. It can always be better by realizing that tomorrow is. The things that I'm working through today, I'm going to take more steps towards them. So that means tomorrow I'm that much closer. Things are starting to unfold that much more. Always see your tomorrow as one step closer to this destination that you're currently journeying towards. Realize that that is what is happening, that your tomorrow is going to be a better day. One of the things I learned from Neil Donald Walsh, this is number 5, is try to be the best version of the highest vision you ever held about yourself. Always try to think of yourself from the standpoint of how could I actually improve towards my goals. So you're trying to manifest more income, more wealth. All right, how can I understand money better? How can I get my career to be more active? How can I find some way to make this talent that I have create money for me? How can I figure out, spend the time spinning your wheels on these abilities to be able to be this better version, right? By thinking about these things, by giving thought and love and a feeling to them, we do. Also, sometimes maybe if we're being grumpy with people, trying to be that better version of ourselves that doesn't just get mad at people. If someone says something mean to you, you start to give the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you're not quick to snap back. Maybe you're able to even turn the other cheek when that happens. But trying to make sure that you are being the best version of the highest vision you've ever held about yourself will take you in larger and larger steps, expand your consciousness more and more, and get you thinking in the right direction. How can I get better at this thing? How can I be a better husband, a better boyfriend, a better wife, a better whatever? How can I improve what I'm giving to the world, to my company, to the universe, to my family? How can I improve what I am doing? Next, and quite possibly the second most important one, being kind to others, being good to other people, being as often as I can. Now, again, do I allow people to walk over me? No, because I'm also kind to myself. I love myself very much, and I realize there are going to be times where people are going to ask things of me, and I need to understand that, hey, if it's something that's, I think, kind of going outside of where I should be, I'm not going to do it, and I'll tell them, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. But when it comes to helping random people or certain situations pop up and I'm like, hey, let me help you with that. When you can be good to other people in general, when you're looking for an opportunity to help, and even helping animals. Like I've helped bugs before. Like the roly-polies when they roll up on their backs and they can't get off their backs. I'm like, that is so sad. So I turn him over on his feet. Then I end up sometimes seeing him back on his back. It's like, what are you doing, man? Come on. Learn how gravity works, homie. When we make an effort to be kind to people, we bring more kindness in our lives. What we send out is what we get back. Now, one of the best things to keep in mind, and one of the things that I remind myself frequently and sometimes forget to do, but it's very powerful, is learn to have fun. Learn to have fun. Learn to enjoy the journey. Learn to see it as a process. Learn to see it as an experience. Learn to see it as the journey that it is. And really appreciate the steps and stages. Appreciate the unfolding of it. Appreciate the way the flower opens its petals. It is an amazing, beautiful journey. And when we learn to have fun, when we learn to dance, when we learn to sing, when we learn to just be ourselves, when we learn to be like children, we find that our energy, our consciousness, and all of these things just tend to generally rise. And when they do, it just automatically starts attracting things to you of that nature. You might be trying to attract more money. Awesome. You get your consciousness up to that higher place. It's not just money that starts happening. They'll start giving you clothes. You'll start getting free cars. You'll start it's just the abundance comes to you in ways you never thought possible. It is like, I didn't even think this was a way that I could make money, and I somehow made money doing it. It just starts to ooze out of every pore in your world. When you get your consciousness up to a higher place and basically keep it there, your experience in life alters drastically. So every day it's a step in that direction. Every day is a little bit better. Every day is another chance to be kind to someone else. Every day is maybe another mistake I make that I'm going to learn from and become that much more successful. It is a way to look at your progression in a much better light and keep your general overall attitude way higher. And when that happens, your ability to see the beauty of your life unfolding multiplies many times over. This can change your life if you can work on changing your life inside. As you change inside, so does your outside. Work on expanding yourself upward. These 7 steps are a big, big help in keeping that energy going in the direction that will work for you. It's Dan RadioStyle.